A new baby, pretty innocent baby girl, born into a world of uncertainty. In time past, the girl child was cast in the light of one to be seen but not heard, and tagged a money drain. This was especially common in African societies, including Nigeria. Traditionally, the female child is seen as a home maintainer and one to bear children. The notion that she would end up in a man's house, and more likely his kitchen, as a full-time housewife, always stood in the way of whatever financial investment may have been allotted her. So while her male counterpart is sent off to school, she is saddled with responsibilities that deny her access to education, trained only with ability to cook and perform household chores towards the ultimate end of being a housewife. Tokwe Ladipo, a woman in her mid-40s, was privileged to be educated, not because her parents wanted her to, but because a third party came to her rescue. Her elder sister was not so lucky.
Thank God for a woman beside our shop there. She was the one that insisted that we must go. We will have stopped in primary school. But thank God that the woman she was doing that period, and she was able to win my father's heart. Then we could further to secondary school. If not, we will have stopped in primary school. But it's good for us to send our children to school, especially our girls. We are fortunate that someone stood by our side by winning my father's heart to move higher to university level, while my senior sister cannot move further than the secondary school. Even that secondary school was a privilege for her. She could have stopped at primary school. But we thank God that we are being educated. And for instance, our parents know where to from. They are illiterate. They did not understand anything. Even when you are someone wants to kill them by their side, speaking English, they cannot understand. Then you can see that when you send your children to school, especially the female, they will be more exposed, they will understand what is going on in the society.
Even the younger generation share this thought.
If a girl is not allowed to go to school to further her education or to know more about things surrounding her, if she grows up and get married, the man might be maltreating her due to illiteracy, and she does not know things about, she doesn't know most things.
Education is a liberating catalyst which helps to improve productivity, healthy living, and generally reduces negative features of life. According to the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, though there has been some level of progress, girls continue to suffer severe disadvantage and exclusion in education systems. UNICEF estimated 31 million girls of primary school age and 34 million girls of lower secondary school age were not enrolled in school in 2011. The typical adolescent girl faces increasing economic and social demands such as household obligations, child labor, forced early marriage, and marginalization in consideration for school attendance due to limited funds for school fees, to mention a few, all of which further disrupts her education. The situation means the girl child oftentimes has to wait for philanthropic largesse or negotiated admission for a chance to be educated. The female child is burdened with a lot of expectations, obligations the family and society have of her. Without determination, she could be overwhelmed and falter in her quest for education. Omomi Omokumi is in her mid-40s and works as a teacher with the Lagos State government. She is a progressing educationist who had surmounted the challenges in her path.
Being the first child, first daughter, and the first child of my family, found it very difficult. I was just struggling to get educated. I didn't think I wasn't even determined. I would not even be educated, but I was determined. And that time, it wasn't easy, in the sense that the writing of examinations and not making your result at the first attempt. Like my JAMB, you can say I finished in 83, but I gained admission in 87 into the university. But I found out that it was because of my determination just to get educated that I just continued. And then the encouragement I got from my mom. She was telling me that she wasn't even educated and that she wanted me to be educated so that I would be a role model to my siblings. And I took that as a challenge. And so I continued. Despite the fact that I was disappointed by JAMS on several occasions, and then my choice of university, my choice of course, but I just made up my mind. Got to a stage, I felt, let me just go for catering. My dad even supported that and said, why not go for catering and don't even waste your time. He jokingly said that people will be calling you catering. So it was a challenge. That also challenged me, and I felt that the best thing is just for me to hold on and wait. And when I gained the admission into the university, Lagos State University in 87, I was more than happy.
The expectations of the society and the emotional burden are not strange even to girls of the 21st century.
There will be challenges because pressure from your parents. Let's say you reach a certain age, your parents will want you to get married in time and all that. So you won't be able to. You've seen people, but mostly the males are the ones that they get to finish everything and they don't really get pressure from their parents that they've not married and all. But as a female, your parents will pressure you that what are you doing? Are you just going to study all your life, grow old and become a bookworm and all?
Fast forward several decades to the present day Nigeria, and the notion about the girl-child education seems to have changed positively. The importance of female education can no longer be trivialized. The girls are more confident than ever, aware of challenges faced by females in time past, but certain their own fate is different.
At first, in the olden days, like girls should not go to school and everything. Like girls are supposed to stay in the house, being a housewife. All boys have to go to school to have education and not to have money to take care of.
But
girls.
now we're allowed
to go to school. And most of the times they allow students to be in the same school and paying off the same school fees. So it's actually like the schools that we go to are equal and the education.
It's not supposed to be like that. No, ladies are also supposed to be educated, at least to support the husband in paying off school fees, rentals and things like that.
Most of the times when I see something like that, that girls are not allowed to go to school and stuff like that, somehow I feel it's child abuse.
In the past years, girls have been experiencing great challenges when it comes to their education. But recently things have improved. But we only have a little problem, and that's gender discrimination. We still have this gender discrimination problem. Boys have always been taking the lead role when it comes to education, most especially in the science aspect. So what we girls need is for people to encourage us, probably non-governmental organizations to encourage us and help us to reduce this gender discrimination. When boys want to do something, they should also involve girls. Not when probably we need 10 people to do something. Why can't it not be equal? 5 boys, then 5 girls. Like that, girls will be encouraged to do more things. And especially in the science aspect, if we want to conduct an experiment or want to do something technological, we don't tend to invite the girls. They think girls don't have the brain, girls don't have the intellect to do things like that. Whereas girls, if we encourage girls to do things like this, they will even perform more than the boys. As a female, not everybody would want to take my dream. Not everybody would want me to become a pediatrician, as I have always dreamed to be. But I know I'm going to encounter some challenges. People say, why can't I not go for law? Why can't I not go for other easy courses? But I know that if I continue to strive forward, I'll be able to become a pediatrician as I've always dreamed to be. Male students won't face the same challenges because they think male students are these brilliant and intelligent people, not knowing that females are actually more intelligent than they do.
Education is now considered a right, and while a child, irrespective of gender, has right to education, girls' education is both an intrinsic right and a critical lever to reaching other development objectives. Despite the doubts cast on the educational prowess of the girl child, she deserves a chance to prove herself, a chance she has hardly ever wasted, with proofs lying in recent West African examination results, which shows girls in a clear lead of overall assessment. Class assessment work has also shown the females turn in their assignments properly and thoroughly done within stipulated time.
Like last year, we had about 90% in WAEC, okay, and in NECO about 85%. So they have been doing very well. I have been here. This is my 13th year in this school, and I've seen them progressing from one step to the other. Initially, when they go to compete with these boys, there is a little bit. They are always, apprehensive. But after some time, they become calm. But they've gone out for competition where they even beat the boys.
Recent estimates show that 6 million out of the 36 million out-of-school girls worldwide are Nigerians. Bearing in mind the gains that can leapfrog development for the society, an educated girl child will help break the cycle of poverty. With education, she will avoid undue early marriage and childbearing. She will also be less vulnerable to diseases such as HIV and AIDS, and she will acquire information and skills that will lead to increased earning power. Education of the girl child will influence positively the well-being of generations to come. As at today, in what hitherto was tagged strictly a man's world, the girl child has evolved, and achieving self-realization is no longer a mirage for the female gender, who has proven her mettle in all endeavors. The roll call will include the late Dora Aquili, Dr. Mrs. Nikia Kwade, Hajia Bola Shagaya, Miss Aruma Ote, and Dr. Dui Abiola, to mention a few, who have all proven pundits wrong.
When it comes to the aspect of being an ambassador, most of the times ambassador comes from the male side. When it comes to politics, the president and stuff like that. So I've never gotten a history that a lady has become the president. But I think that history can come if they allow most ladies to go to school and be educated.
This strong display of determination, raw intelligence, and dedication to assert herself in the face of chauvinists is gradually leading to a paradigm shift where the girl child is moving out of the endangered species enclave, with women's rights being seen as human rights and equal chances being given to all. In northern Nigeria, the girl child, no doubt, faces more challenges to get educated. This is more so as the cultural limitations and sundry society impediments which have over the years limited the aspiration of girls to get educated have taken another dimension. The threat of physical danger has become real, especially since the emergence of the Islamist group Boko Haram. While a number of kidnap cases, including females in the north, have not been covered extensively, one has stood out: the hashtag #BringBackOurGirls. On the night of the 14th to the 15th of April 2014, 276 female students are said to have been kidnapped from the government secondary school in the town of Chibok in Borno State. The kidnappings were claimed by Boko Haram, an Islamic jihadist and terrorist organization based in northeast Nigeria. As of the 29th of June, more than 200 students were still missing. The Boko Haram sect say they want to sell the girls. This represents a new threat to the girl child's education, especially in northern Nigeria. In southern Nigeria, their agony in a bid to get educated is registered in physical ordeals. On the 31st of March 2012, a luxury bus conveying secondary school girls from Enugu to Lagos State were attacked by armed bandits at the Okiodo end of Oreshagamo Expressway in Ogun State. The students, numbering 42, were of the Holy Cross College, Enugu, and had hired the bus belonging to a Kennedy Chukwu group of companies for their journey to Lagos. The newspaper which reported the incident, The Punch, claimed the assailants dragged the students into a nearby bush where they beat them, robbed them, and according to unconfirmed reports, raped some of them. It has been 2 years since the ugly incident, and not much has come out of the crime committed against the young school girls. Ad astra per aspera to the stars through difficulties. The good news, however, is that the Nigerian girl child seems resolute to overcome all challenges to excel against all odds and prove to the society that she has all it takes to succeed.
Nothing can limit.
Nothing can limit.
Yes,
Nothing.
nothing.